It was hanging from like right about there, and it was like the like little string thing that I had. It was like tied up between like right here, hanging right there.
It was a single act up on right third by freshman Kevin Moser that led to a swift punishment from the Huntington University administration and a campus-wide conversation on racial discrimination. Administrators sent a mass email on Thursday, November 12th, declaring that a racially insensitive incident occurred on our campus and that Huntington University does not tolerate such behavior. This widespread response came after Moser hung a collectible Michael Jordan doll from the air conditioning vent of his dorm room.
I just hung it up there. I mean, I wanted to show it off. I mean, it was just laying on my desk. I'd rather be like, oh, this is kind of a collectible. It's a cool thing to have. I'd want to show it off.
However, he also said that the thought of potential controversy had crossed his mind.
When I hung up the doll, like 3.5 weeks ago, I thought to myself, okay, as I'm hanging this up, like, this could be controversial, but like, I just wanted to show off the doll. I didn't mean for it to be like taken in that matter.
He is referring to the reaction of another freshman living on right third at the time, R.J. Black. Black and his friend Kenesha Thompson came across the doll one evening as they were seeking Moser's help with an assignment.
I went to his room, he wasn't there, and I looked up, and there was a doll hanging by its neck. And to me, it doesn't matter what skin color the doll was or anything like that. I was just like, wow, why does he have this doll?
Both Black and Thompson were confused about why Moser had hung the doll. So when Moser returned to his room, they asked him.
And RJ asked him, like, Kevin, what is this? And he was like, oh, he's a doll. I just hung him. So I was like, why'd you hang him? And he was like, oh, I hung him because he was doing a piss poor job. I'm a farmer.
Moser confirms that he did indeed say these statements, but he tells FDN News it was meant as a joke.
I responded back with like, oh, well, I'm a farmer. Like, he was working bad, and I decided to put him up there. As a joke. I said that as a joke.
Thompson and Black didn't find it funny.
His response sounds really racist to me. I'm not saying he's racist, but it sounds really racist. So I was just like, wow, I can't believe you just said that.
But the big issue that I have with is that he told me that he's a farmer and he was doing a piss poor job in the field, so he hung him. If anyone knows about the world and what happened in the past, saying that, you would think that he's a slave master, and this guy right there is a slave.
After the conversation between the three students, both Black and Thompson returned to Black's room. Moser tells us he had no idea Black had been offended.
What I didn't know was that RJ actually, like, that, seeing that up there, that actually, like, really got to him. And, like, after him and Kenesha, like, talked to me or asked me about it, I saw him, and, like, he didn't seem, like, distraught about it.
But he was. Both Black and Thompson, along with a group of friends, began bringing the issue before university leaders, eventually reaching the office of Jesse Brown.
On Monday morning, we have a weekly RD meeting. It goes from 9 to 11. When I came back to campus, there were 3 students that were friends involved, and they came into my office.
However, this was not the only meeting held, nor was the hanging of the doll the only issue brought up. Brown told FDN that he received several complaints of racial discrimination after the doll incident occurred. One of these incidents Black referred to in his meeting with Brown was Moser's use of the N-word.
One night on the floor, I was studying, and he was walking past, and he said the N-word or whatever, and I found that really offensive. I didn't tell anyone really about it because he didn't say it to me. He just said it on the floor, so I just left. It influenced my decision of going forward with telling the administration here what happened Friday.
I was walking by Luke Bates and Fanny Fiechter's room, and they were listening like to rap, and I went by and said, like, "What are you guys listening to, like, music?" Half joking, half just, that's how I titled it, and that's how I recognized the music as. I guess RJ overheard me that day.
Because of this incident, as well as hanging the doll, the university issued this letter to Moser detailing his punishment. Moser received 20 hours of community service, disciplinary probation from November 11th to January 31st, 4 mentoring sessions with a faculty member, and Moser is prohibited from competing in his first 2 track meets. Thompson and Black think the punishment is just.
If I were to do something like this, I would want a second chance, and I feel like they're giving Kevin a second chance.
I actually do feel like it's a just punishment because I like to think of it as like, if I was in his situation, would I be okay with that?
Even Moser understands and accepts his consequences.
honestly, like, whatever was given to me, I'd accept it. I mean, what I did was careless.
The question now on everyone's mind is, where do we go from here? Jesse Brown thinks the answer is reconciliation.
In a sense, what we ought to be doing here at Huntington University is having choir practice. So when we do things that are out of harmony, we do our best to reconcile those things and get them within harmony.
Thankfully, this reconciliation has already begun.
He's apologized. Me and him have talked with Jake in the room, and I got my frustrations out, and he got his out, and he apologized, and I accepted it, and then we prayed, and then that was it. So there's no hard feelings towards him or anyone on the floor at all.
I honestly did not mean to mess with RJ or anything like that, and more people, I'm sure, were affected by it as soon as they heard about it, and I just wanted to apologize to everybody else who was affected by it.
Almost as if by fate, HU finds itself in the midst of International Emphasis Week as it begins to heal from this incident. Brown encourages all students to take this event as a learning opportunity.